So I'm gonna create this small short video. It's gonna last between 5 to 7 minutes, I think, to demonstrate how I'm using a Word document in combination with a audio source to learn the language. So the idea is that I'm able to read as I'm listening to the audio, and then I can use the Word document to create a comprehensible input. That way I will basically understand what I'm reading. And let me demonstrate that. So I have this blog that I just found online. I'm gonna download here using this link a little bit the audio, and I have the text. So I'm gonna get all this text cut and pasted into a Word document. I have the Word document already here, ready to go. And so I also like to demonstrate, if I don't have the audio, I can still with text have an idea of how the document sounds or each word sounds, but using the Word feature, speech, read aloud, speech
Ich
to
war
text.
vor kurzem in Berlin.
So
Dort
I have it
fiel
here.
mir auf, dass überall der Name Humboldt auftaucht.
I want to make sure
Es gibt
that
die
the
Humboldt-Universität,
voice is
das Humboldt-Forum,
Stefan,
ein
Kanja
Humboldt-Denkmal und
Ojeda,
natürlich auch eine
Microsoft,
Humboldt-Straße.
German readers.
Wer
If
steckt
you read
hinter
it
diesem
with an
Namen?
English speaker, it's
Es
gonna
ist ein
be
Herr
it's
namens
gonna sound
Alexander von
all
Humboldt,
like English
der in diesem
accent. It's
Jahr
gonna be
seinen
incomprehensible. It's not gonna be
250.
real
Geburtstag
German.
feiert
But,
und ein deutscher
this is
Naturforscher war. Ich erzähle dir etwas von seinem Leben. Friedrich Wilhelm Heinrich Alexander von Humboldt
so you can see this is German reading.
wurde am 14. September 1769 in Berlin.
Now the sound is artificial, is mechanic, is computer elaborated, so the intonation is not going to be natural and normal. It's not going to sound human. But I read content in Spanish, my native language, and it's pretty decent. The pronunciation is pretty accurate. Is the intonation what it fails? But it will give you an example of how the word sounds, and then you can use it for listening comprehension to train your pronunciation. Ideally, you will have this read by human, and that's what we have in this case. And so I'm gonna go now to translate. So you go to review, you have translate the language, and I can translate the whole document, but I'm gonna use the translate selection. And the interesting part is that everything that I highlight here will get translated, right? And so now I have the audio here, and I'm ready to play the audio as I'm reading and demonstrate here.
Slow German, der Podcast zum Deutschlernen mit Anni Grubens.
Ich war vor kurzem in Berlin. Dort fiel mir auf, dass überall der Name Humboldt auftaucht.
Now my German is pretty basic and I don't understand probably anything of what they're saying here, but to get started I'm gonna create a comprehensible input where I can start enjoying the article. So I'm gonna be using the Word translation on it. It's not going to be perfect, but it will be accurate enough to let me understand what's going on, to pick up the interesting words that I want to learn, and create a comprehensible input out of this text that I put on this Word document. So for example, I just listen up to here and I want to know what they're talking about on the introduction. So I go here, and to the right you can see I was in Berlin recently. There I noticed that the name Humboldt appears everywhere. Great. So now I'm going to listen to the whole paragraph up to here. So I'm gonna listen to this whole thing. I have it highlighted. Now let's go back to my here, get it ready. I have highlighted it, so now the whole thing is going to be translated. So as I read on the top of here, which I'm going to be highlighting or moving my mouse as I recognize the word, then you will see that the translated part word is going to be highlighted. to create a comprehensible input. So let's start it. Let's start right away.
Slow German, der Podcast zum Deutschlernen mit Anni Grubens.
Ich war vor kurzem in Berlin. Dort fiel mir auf, dass überall der Name Humboldt auftaucht. Es gibt die Humboldt-Universität, das Humboldt-Forum, ein Humboldt-Denkmal und natürlich auch eine Humboldt-Straße. Wer steckt hinter diesem Namen? Es ist ein Herr namens Alexander von Humboldt, der in diesem Jahr seinen 250. Geburtstag feiert und ein deutscher Naturforscher war. Ich erzähle dir etwas von seinem Leben. Friedrich Wilhelm Heinrich Alexander von Humboldt wurde am 14. September 1769 in Berlin geboren. Er hatte einen 2 Jahre älteren Bruder namens Wilhelm. Sie lebten auf einem Schloss und waren adelig.
So perfect. Now I can read it. I can understand this paragraph and work on each word. Now this is unnecessary, but I'm just going to do it for the sake of demonstration. If I want to have a bilingual text, I'm going to create bilingual text. So I'm going to put this. I'm going to insert it. I'm going to close it here, and I'm going to decrease the font, smaller font. So I'm going to use like an 8, for example, and I'm going to use italics to show that it's a translation. I can put my test. I can put this one bold. And I don't like how it looks, so I'm going to reverse it. But there you go. This is a small demonstration how to use what you already have to learn a language. And little by little, you start reading the text as you listen to it. You increase your listening comprehension, and you start recognizing words that you already saw in different texts. And little by little, the words stick. The new words stick, and you are learning it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's helpful.